Yes, welcome to today's class for corporate accounting. It is accounting for companies. And today we are going to discuss about P&L account of banking companies. We are given with some set of informations in the from the books of Vardhaman Bank and how to prepare the P&L account of a banking company. See, basically one thing you should understand. We have to prepare only based on schedule, and it's very simple, just fill in the blanks. We have to fill the informations in the appropriate schedules. Then based on that, the total of those schedules are again posted in the main part of the bank account, bank statement. Then automatically you will get the total of profit earned for the period and what the amount of profit transferred to the balance sheet. Here, first one item, interest or discounts on advances or bills received. That amount, discount received, see, bills received on bills, advances, interest on bills. That means the bank is receiving the amount of interest, so it's a income. We have to take it in interest earned, schedule number 13. Then interest on investment, that should goes to the amount of income which is that is also interest on investments. The next line in schedule number 13, see, whatever the interest or the income received, simple key factor, whatever the income or interest received is taken in income side. Whatever the interest paid, that should goes to the expenditure side. That's all. Okay, that is the basic key factor for this. Then another one is, next item is interest on balances with the Reserve Bank of India. That amount of interest on balances with the Reserve Bank of India, that is also the interest. See, all the banks are required to maintain the balances with the Reserve Bank. For that balance, we are getting, that means we, in the sense the bank, the individual bank is getting the interest. So that goes to schedule number 13, it's a income. Then commission, exchange, brokerage, etc. Commission, that is demand draft commission. Any exchanges, that is a demand draft. When you are purchasing the DD draft payable, it's a exchange. When you are requesting your bank for doing some services, general utility services, for which they will charge the amount, it's all those things comes under the category called schedule number 14, other income. Then next one, profit on sale of investments, that is also the other income, profit. So the bank is getting the amount of income, so it is a profit. One thing you should keep in mind, profit you are taking in income side, whereas if it is loss on sale of investments, that should not goes to the expenditure. Simply you should deduct the amount of loss from this schedule. You should take it as a negative figure if it is a loss, whereas in this question no problem, it's a profit, so you should take it in other income. Then interest on deposit, term itself is self-explanatory. Interest on deposit, we are maintaining the deposit with the bank, so bank is providing the interest for that deposit, so it is a expenditure, it is expenses. So we have to take that interest on deposit as interest expended. Then another one is interest on Reserve Bank of India borrowing. When we borrow the amount, we have to pay the interest. Likewise, this Vardhaman Bank borrowed the amount from RBI, so he has to pay that the bank has to pay the interest for their borrowings to RBI. So it's a payment. We are taking in interest expended. Then next one is payments to and provisions. Payments, it is given as payments to and provisions for employees. This is the point goes to operating expenses. This is a general category. When the bank is making the payment for any of the operative expenses, any of the operative items, if the bank is paying the amount, then we should take it for expenses. Okay, schedule number 16. What all the item will come under this category? Payments, then payments to the employees, printing and stationery, advertisement expenditure, any depreciation, fees paid, audit fees, audit charges, audit out of pocket expenses. Okay, all those things, printing and station postage, any stationary items paid. Okay, all those things will coming under the category called operating expenses, right? Then next one is depreciation on bank's property. Any sort of depreciation, bank property, that bank premises depreciation, and bank is maintaining the vehicles for which depreciation, all those things under the category called operating expenses, schedule number 16. Then audit fees, audit out of pocket expenses, revenue charges paid. Revenue charges in the sense banks are in a position to affix the revenue stamp for various legal documents. So those things are accounted under the category called rates. Okay. In your plus one plus two, you might aware of the term called rent, rate, taxes, etc. That rate is for this thing only. Okay. And another one is law charges, postage, telegram expenses. When you are requesting your bank to transfer the amount to one of your branch which is located in outstation, then bank may give the telegram to that bank for transferring the amount. That will be charged to you only. Telegram, it is called as a telegram transfer. Okay. So likewise, if any of the things made, that will be accounted, that one is accounted in operating expenses. Then insurance, any insurance made, of course, I borrowed the housing loan, I have taken the housing loan for my property, bank has taken the insurance, of course I am bearing that amount, but for their purpose, if they are paying the insurance, it is taken as expenses. Then other expenditure which are not grouped under the mentioned category, it is a simple, we know, miscellaneous expenses, like that. If you know the expenses given, then that should be taken. Then profit and loss transfer from last year, this is another one important point. We should take this point in the second item in the third part of the P&L account. See, just have a look on that P&L account. First one is a net profit and then profit brought forward. What is that profit brought forward? Last year balance sheet, we have mentioned the profit. Now that should be carried from the last balance sheet, carried over to this balance sheet. That is profit brought forward. What is the meaning for that? This year we earned some excess the profit. Last year we have already earned some profit, right? If you total these two things, then only you will get what is the total profit of the bank. So profit brought forward, that means carried over to the present balance sheet, present statement from the last year's statement. Then after this, we have to make some appropriations. Appropriations in the sense, amount should be appropriated from the total amount of the profit, distributed for various purposes. Most important thing is amount appropriated for reserve. Number 2, dividend. Okay, these two things we have to take it here. Then make a provision of income tax 40%. How will you take that provision of income tax? Mind it carefully. Income plus expenses, balance is the profit. So we should not take the amount of provision for profit, provision for income tax, not straight away taken from the current net profit of 1440. No. Then how to take this? That 960 I have calculated. I put the asterisk mark there. What is the meaning for that? That amount of profit considered for the income tax provision is before profit on tax. Then after adjusting this, we should take the actual profit for the period, that means profit after tax. So you please mind the terms. Profit before tax is 2400. Profit after tax is, after deducting the tax provision of 960, balance is what? 1440. That should be taken as the current net profit. Okay, in that manner we have to take. So total income minus expenditure minus all the things other than income tax. All the things we have to take from the total amount of income. Balance is what? That is a profit before tax. From profit before tax, we have to deduct the amount of tax provision what is specified in the problem, that we have to take. Okay, so then another one is 20%. Please mind it carefully. If you want, please put a mark on that. Whether it is given in the question or not, it is mandatory for all the problems for P&L account. You should take the profit as statutory reserve. Sorry, statutory reserve as 20%. Previously, it was 15%. Prior to that, 10%. Now it is 20%. That 20% should be deducted. One effect from amount of 20% calculated on current net profit. Then second one effect is the same should be shown in balance sheet schedule 2A reserves. Okay, so 20% on current profit is 1440. On that we have to take 20%. Then in this question we are also given with the revenue reserve of it is a 5%. That the revenue reserve should also be calculated. Okay, this is also one effect should be in appropriations part in P&L. Second one effect in the balance sheet schedule 2A. Okay, accordingly you have to take. Then proposed dividend. You know, dividend is calculated from the capital, right? So the what is the amount of dividend? Here, luckily we are given with the total amount of dividend. In the question itself, it is given as the amount of dividend. Proposed dividend is 200,000 for the year ended. So the dividend is calculated from the capital. Amount of dividend is given in the question. One effect should be given in appropriations side. Another one effect that should goes to the reserves in balance sheet schedule 2. Then what is the balance? Total profit minus these appropriations. What is the balancing figure? 2404. That is the profit transferred to balance sheet. That means current transferred to balance sheet. Current profit transferred. Okay. So two things you should keep in mind. P&L account or balance sheet, whatever it may be, as per the schedule only we have to prepare. Number 2, no old format of a T-shape accounting, only the schedule we have to prepare. Then number 2, for P&L net profit we have to calculate what is the amount of profit carried over to the balance sheet, the final amount of profit carried over to the balance sheet after appropriations, that should also be calculated. Schedules should be grouped, numbered with the proper title. These things are important for this problem. This is the opt one for essay type also, but normally for part B P&L account will be asked and part C balance sheet problems will be asked.